The NFL on EA Sports brings us to the banks of the Ohio River and Paycor Stadium in Cincinnati. Here's the kicker, Jake Bates, ready to get this one started.
And we are underway from Cincinnati.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And they'll begin here with a run by Brown.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now. Here's Burrow.
A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
46, boys, 46. 46 to mark. 11 mighty. 11 mighty.
On third down, Burrow. That one taken in by T. Higgins.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. The end result, 21 yards.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
2nd and 9.
Burrow looking to pass.
Over the middle, he finds Higgins.
They'll give him 4 yards there, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally, and then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. They'll give this up the middle to Brown. He's able to get 6. A nice pickup down to the 21.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
2nd down and 4. Burrow will throw. Oh, it's intercepted. A drive killer there. It's Brian Branch with it.
And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown.
So just a tremendous play there defensively on this opening drive. Not just to make the interception, but to take it all the way home.
And it felt like this was a defense that was on its heels a bit to start this thing off.
Yeah, they pretty much let the other guys march right down the field until that moment.
Yeah, key play there. Turned it all around. Big moment.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26.
The Bengals drive about to get going.
Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick 6, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick 6 and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
And he is going to wind up losing yardage here, as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play.
Here's 3rd and 7. Ready for the second quarter from Cincinnati. It's the Bengals with the football here. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he's going to have a Bengals first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And points result, we'll call this play significant.
And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
And we all know how talented this guy is who's calling the signals for him. But even the best in the game, they can struggle against a good, cohesive zone coverage. Can't find a gap in the secondary quick enough, and he ends up taking a sack.
So the completion good for 6 yards. And that brings up third and a full 10 yards.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
They're passing here, Joe Burrow. Escaping the pressure right.
A short throw there pulled in by All. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means fourth down. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. Zach Taylor, a new breed of head coach. He's going to go for it on fourth down.
They'll try and run for it with Brown.
And he's going to be knocked down hard at the end of that one. They only needed about 4 or 5 inches there. Relied on the big guys up front and got it done.
Yeah, this is the time to just go ahead and hit it straight ahead. No juking, right? No movement in the backfield. Take the ball and go. As I heard a coach tell a player a long time ago, save your dancing for the club, son. Just get up into that line of scrimmage.
And the drive starts with a completion, left side. Down to the 10. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Andre Yoshivas, 46 yards. And the Bengals are an extra point away from drawing level. Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, kind of a costly one, as he won't make it back to the 20. A man who was the Georgia State High School Player of the Year in 2020. Here's Jahmyr Gibbs.
A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28.
Now that's the way you want to start a drive. Talk about a tone setter as well as a playbook opener. Now if you want to take a big shot over the top, you're all positioned to do so.
Second down, and they go back to Gibbs.
And he's able to get out to the 32.
Brought down there. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
First carry now for David Montgomery. And an anxious moment or two there, but they do get him down. It's a gain of 14 and a first down for Detroit. Now a timeout called for by the offense, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. On 1st and 10, Goff. He's airing it out for Williams. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. And the Bengals are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line. Well, Charles, so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times.
And Burrow going to be hit and taken down. They got him. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. And that sack, Charles, just looked like a case where a speedy defensive end is a little bit quicker than the offensive tackle.
Yeah, it makes it difficult for a tackle to determine what exactly to do. Do you do the kick slide and try and get back in the pocket and meet him there? Do you meet him on the line of scrimmage where they call a quick set? In any event, right now, he's having his troubles.
Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. And the Lions going with an extra DB here on 3rd down. Now it's Burrow. Yeah. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
So they grabbed the lead just before half with a clock reading 0-0-0.
How about snatching things right at the end and grabbing a little bit of control? What a great way to go into the locker room. It's similar to a boxer flurrying in the last 30 seconds of a round and stealing the round. Great job.
And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. A one-touchdown ball game, 14-7 our scores. We get back at it on EA Sports. Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And he probably wishes he would have sat on that one. Instead, he's only able to get this up beyond the 15-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the second half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing equals passing the ball more, but I'd establish the running game. They kind of went away from it in the first half. I think if they get back in balance, it'll help them when they put the ball back in the air.
Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. Now Goff. Flushed out right. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd.
Oh, partner, just a second earlier, and they might have had him because they certainly thought they were going to close in and drop him behind the line of scrimmage, but he had just enough time to dodge the pressure, and he ends up getting yardage before being stopped.
And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs. On 1st and 10, here's Gibbs. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Throwing on 3rd, Goff. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he...
is out of bounds. So a big call there that brings up fourth.
And so many times we look at the opening drive of the third quarter as a tone setter, and many coaches do emphasize it. And that's a strong performance there defensively to force incompletion and, more importantly, force a quick punting situation.
He's airing it out for Williams. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted.
It's DJ Turner who's got it.
And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. And he will bring it back. It's a pick-6 for a Bengals TD.
Well, the defense obviously could not have drawn up a better start to the second half. They're holding on to that slim lead, just looking for a stop. Not only do they get the stop, Charles, they get the pick-6.
Another example that life comes at you fast, doesn't it? One play ago, they're defending a slim lead coming out of the break. Now they're one more stop away from thinking about a possible put-away drive.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick-6, and now the kick is away.
He will return this from deep in the end zone. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily that you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Now third down is looming. A pickup of 2 on first down and just 1 yard there.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage.
From the gun on third down, Goff.
And yet again, Goff is intercepted. It's DJ Turner who's got it. And the Bengals are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line.
First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
They will throw on first down with Burrow. That's caught. It's a rookie from Alabama.
And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. 3 quarters in the books.
This is the National Football League on EA Sports. On 1st and 10, here's Brown.
And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Officially nothing on that one, no gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on third down. Now it's Burrow. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Brown. And almost, but not quite. Needed 10. He got 9. 4th down.
A short game that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it.
So on 4th down, off goes Burrow. On comes Evan McPherson for the Bengal field goal.
This to make it a 3-score game late. And that's off the right upright, and it bounces away, no good. And this will remain a 2-touchdown game. So distance not the issue there. He had plenty of leg to get it there. It's that darn upright getting in the way.
Always gets in the way of a good time, doesn't it? Because he hit it square, too. Sometimes you can bank one in if you get it on the end of the football. No such luck there for him.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35.
This defense has certainly had an outstanding second half, haven't they? I know they just gave up a first down there, and for the offense, they're hoping that that's something that they can jumpstart with and maybe start to move the ball a little bit better. But it's been tough sledding for them here the entire second half.
All 3 timeouts remain, but they've got to score quick. It's 1st and 10. Gibbs straight ahead. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
There goes a deep ball, end zone. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. It's DJ Turner who's got it. And the Bengals are going to take over once again. At their own 25-yard line. Well, field goals probably aren't going to cut it at this point. This was touchdown or bust, and unfortunately for them, it turned out to be bust.
Yeah, they're feeling like they've got to force the issue here. Maybe take some chances they wouldn't have earlier in the game. But give credit to this defense. They've really stood tall throughout, and they come up with the interception in the end zone. That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. That one looks like he'll throw here. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
And that is incomplete.
I think it's safe to say that he's made some questionable decisions out there so far. Forced some throws into tight coverage. He's already been picked off in this game. 4th down now, but he was fortunate on that one not to have another turnover on his ledger.
Taking it about the 16. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Lions will take over.
They'll come up 1st and 10 here.
50 seconds. Mike, 50 seconds.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Von Bell. And he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. The Lions now going to use the 2nd of their timeouts, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in the 4th. Now Burrow.
And he'll go right back to Chase. That's caught again. And he will have a Bengals 1st down. And it's celebration time on that sideline. And they've earned it.
A big gain there, and that should certainly be enough to put this one in the win column. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Shotgun handoff to Brown here. And they'll work this down to the 15 for a pickup of 4. The Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break.
Now a 2nd and 6.
Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. And he's wrapped up, taken down, back at the 25. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long.
So this one in the win column now for the Cincinnati Bengals. And, you know, it wasn't a shutout. They did give up the points in the first quarter, but 2nd, 3rd, and 4th quarter, they held them scoreless.
Brandon, if you throw a shutout.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to Huntington Bank Field here in Cleveland, Ohio. Here's the veteran Dustin Hopkins ready for the start, and we are underway now from Huntington Bank Field. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a poor one, especially given the new rules. They're going to be backed up deep to start this drive.
Brandon, whatever happened to the old rule that if you don't know that you're definitely going to get it to at least a 20-yard line, you just take a knee in the end zone. Sometimes being too aggressive can actually cost you.
First play and a first pass coming for Darnold.
And he'll score. Touchdown, Browns.
That drive was quick and impressive. Almost like they had somewhere else they needed to be after the game.
Dustin Hopkins on now to add the extra point. It's up and through to make it 7-0 Browns. Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Following the made field goal for 3, Hopkins now to kick it off.
And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. On first down, it's Darnold.
Oh, he's going to air it out right away.
And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Boy, that ball's just hanging up there waiting to be intercepted. That looked doomed from the start, but they took the deep shot anyway, and fortunately, it winds up incomplete.
Back to the air, Darnold on second down.
Eluding the pressure right.
Oh, a dangerous pass there, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Juan Thornhill. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. They exited the pocket trying to improvise. That was a tough throw, and unfortunately, it wound up in the wrong pair of hands.
And Brandon, when you're on the run, sometimes your downfield vision can get skewed just a bit. Now, the beauty of extending a play is sometimes your receivers find their way open, but oftentimes you end up closing down part of the field and bringing those defenders to the ball. And that one was picked off.
They go quickly here out to Moore.
And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
A first carry now for Nick Chubb. It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation.
That was a good run, and it got to the second level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle, and oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
Here we go on 4th. Watson. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. A big pickup there, 20 yards as they convert on fourth. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Chubb will get the call, running left. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
2nd and 10. Now a play fake, and it's Watson. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. I don't want to blow it too out of proportion, but maybe circle this play, because if they get the stop and hold him to a field goal here, that's a pretty good job. They're already down on the scoreboard.
A stop now would be vital for them because it could save them from having to do it multiple times later in the game in order to either get back into it or maybe have a chance to win.
Now play number 7 of the drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 10. Now it's Watson. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. Touchdown, Browns. Jerome Ford, an 11-yard touchdown. And the Browns have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Hopkins with the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. 1st down. Up the middle, Jones. To about the 40-yard line. The linebacker, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, on the tackle. Now a timeout called for by the offense. So as they talk it over, we step aside. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Under 10, under 10, 10.
Here's Darnold. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Picked off by Martin Emerson. And the Browns are going to get possession of the football as time will run out on this first quarter of play. The Cleveland offense ready to go. They start near midfield following the interception as they begin 1st and 10. They will start this drive with Ford. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Back to the ground. This time it's Chubb. Shifts past him at the 45. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Good yardage there on 1st down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making 1st downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your 2nd down play.
Here's Watson. To the right side and intercepted. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. And the Vikings will take over here at their own 14-yard line. So that potentially an important takeaway here in this second quarter.
Because what it does is give their offense a chance to put a drive together. They've got nothing on the scoreboard so far, so you have to think that they need something before the break. And now they have an opportunity.
A pretty good looking run there on first down. That'll go for 9 yards, just short of the line to gain.
I'd say it's pretty good strategy. If you throw interceptions on back-to-back drives, let's see if the running backs can handle the ball a little bit, get things going. And also, you motivate your offensive line. I think they're in the mood to fire out and hit someone.
I thought the defense, though, might be a little more prepared for that run. Pretty good gain on the ground. From the 23, here's second down and a yard. Darnold from the gun. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. It'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
Well, sometimes despite the best planning, the defense actually has a plan as well. And they blanketed everyone on that play. They were able to close it down and spill him for a loss.
On 3rd down, here's Jones. And they'll bring him down 1 yard shy after a pickup of 4.
When a good play is made on defense, oftentimes leverage is the key to everything. Defensive line not getting turned, all the other guys making sure they're in the right spot. And on that play, they were able to stop him short of a first down.
And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. They snap it. They're going for it. Here's Darnold. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. Darnold on first down. Flush to his right. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
You know what I like about that play? He didn't try to do too much on first down. He took what the defense gave him, put together a solid gain to bring up 2nd and manageable. Now they have a couple of plays to pick up just a few yards and a new set of downs.
On 2nd down, Darnold. He's going to fire one, corner of the end zone. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
And that's where you're counting on a receiver's size being an advantage. They were hoping he could go over the top of a smaller DB and haul that one in. A good thought, but that time it didn't work out.
Darnold now to throw. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
Kevin O'Connell has a play call ready. His guys going for it on 4th. Darnold sliding out of the pocket. And Darnold got to be intercepted for the 3rd time. Picked up by Juan Thornhill. And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. A 2-touchdown game, 14-0 the score as we get rolling again here in this second half. From his end zone, here comes Jerome Ford. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21. The Browns drive about to get started.
Now a first down throw, Watson.
Oh, he'll air this one deep for Judy. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted.
Shaquille Griffin with a pick.
And the Vikings are going to take possession here at their own 33.
Not the way you envision things to start out the third quarter. One play and already a turnover.
It's interesting. You and I were talking with the coach, and he talked about how at halftime, as a play caller, he wanted to make sure he got a new script going for the second half, not just the one that he operated off of to start the game. Nowhere on that script did it have that result.
And they'll keep on the ground with Jones.
And a lane slow and materializing there as he'll get maybe a yard up to the 45.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
On second down, it's Jones.
And this will be a Vikings first down as he's got this up to the 45-yard line.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Now Darnold going to take it and just bat this one forward to his wide out. From the 38 now, here's a second down and 4. Now the first carry for Cam Akers. 7 yards there and a first down.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. First and 10.
And now a fake on the jet sweep and a give to Jones. And he finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be second down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Second down, another shot for Jones.
And he's going to take this down close to a first down at the Browns' 22. After a gain of 5, they'll wind up being about a length of the football short here on third down. They'll try and run for it with Jones. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. Fourth down now after a loss of 2. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter.
You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Fourth down, and for Darnold, it's desperation time. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Picked up by Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. And the Browns are going to get the ball back on the turnover as they hold on fourth down.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. Turnover that just got him the football back, obviously a big one, because had they been able to score on the other side, this would have been a one-possession game.
So you don't sense full relief here then?
No, I don't, especially with the ball this deep in their own territory, because you make a mistake, they've got it right back in prime position.
They certainly do. So now, almost like a 4-minute offense, right? Take care of this bad boy. Make sure the other team doesn't touch it, but move it with consistent gains. Wear down the clock and make them use their timeouts in this situation.
And able to get it across the 20 before they get to it. A 14-yard gain there as they look to improve this 14-point lead.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense because to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
Oh, he'll air this one deep for Judy.
And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had... Connected. Instead, it's second down.
Going for the knockout blow right there. I think if I'm up 2 scores, I'd be worried about an interception, but playing this way is what got him this lead. So you may as well ride it out to the end.
Now it's the backup Winston.
And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
Again, it's Winston.
He's got his target. That's complete. Look at the big man rumble.
And all the way in. Touchdown. Cleveland.
David Njoku, 79 yards. And the Browns have pretty well put it away here in the fourth quarter.
Extra point good by Hopkins. And it's now 21-0. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away.
And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but nowhere to go. Here, he lost the football. And this is picked. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return for a Browns TD. So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
Hopkins with the extra point, and it is 28-0. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return.
And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, kind of a costly one, as he won't make it back to the 20. McCarthy to throw on 1st and 10. And he's got this to Jefferson.
And he'll be corralled right around the 34.
That throw right on the money from the quarterback from Michigan. It's a 1st down.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
On play action, now McCarthy.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
McCarthy to the air again on 2nd and 10.
Escaping the pressure right. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a 1st down.
McCarthy, he'll set to throw it.
He's going to let it fly.
And it'll be incomplete. Good job staying with him defensively. And it'll bring up 2nd down.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
He's going to take another shot here. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
To the air with McCarthy. That's down the field for Jefferson.
Well, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man. And you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Going for it. Here's McCarthy. He lets one go deep for Addison. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked up by Juan Thornhill. And the Browns are going to take over here up near the 40.
Yes, folks, that is his 3rd interception, and I'm going to use one of the most overused phrases in football. He's a ball-hawking safety.
I love the way that you called for the shot there. That's perfect, though, because there is something to that. Being a safety often allows you freedom to roam around a defense, maybe not a specific assignment. Today, his assignment, find the football, and he's done so quite well.
40 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And then when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
Winston's throw here into the hands of the receiver, Judy.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first?
Right to the air. Here's Murray. Calling no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
On second down, here's the option. It gets by him, and now a little daylight. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. So not his arm, but hurting him with his legs. A gain of 19 on the keeper and a first down. In motion right, that's Harrison. Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. Juwan Bentley there to get him down. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
No score after one on EA Sports. What do they have for this? 3rd and 11. Murray going to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. That is incomplete.
That's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up. Converged on his man and broke the play up.
Oh, big decision here early. Look at this. They're going to go for it on their own side of the field. They're going for it. Hits Murray. He'll find his rookie wideout from Ohio State here. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. That pickup goes for 25. What a flip of the script from 4th down to 1st. Now Murray. Oh, he tried to fit it in on the slant, and it's intercepted. And the Patriots are going to take over at their own 30-yard line. Boy, he had to fit that into a pretty tight window over the middle. And, Charles, I think they were in zone defensively, weren't they?
They certainly were. Nice read on your part. And sometimes the quarterback isn't fooled between zone and man. Sometimes just fooled by the type of zone that he sees. Because often
pressure comes, and the Cardinals bring him down. Mack Wilson. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. They were trying to set up a screen there, but that one just too slow in developing.
Yeah, too slow in developing and well read because that ends up being a bad feeling for the quarterback. When he's got no blocking in front of him, his guys are just going to let defenders go, and they're coming for him. So if it's not there, you just got to throw the ball at the turf that you're running.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Jalen Thompson picks it, and this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the second quarter. A final shot before half for Murray, being chased out left. Now he'll throw deep left side, and he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. So no scoring in our first half. What will the second half bring as we are now back underway? A tie game. I don't think anybody in this building, including you or I, was expecting that.
No, I would agree with that totally. I didn't expect to see it at all, but I kind of like where they were going with this. You know, as you said, tie game, trying to steal a possession, steal an advantage, and you told your defense at the half you were going to do it, which also told them that you had confidence in them in case it failed, as that one just did.
And now you've given good field position here to start the third quarter. Stevenson gets it again on second down. Not much there, maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Now, meanwhile, a final play here is incomplete, and that's going to take us to the end of the third quarter of play. So 3 quarters in the book, still no one on the scoreboard. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. And the sideline celebrates as they have taken the lead in the final minute.
So they hadn't called on him at all until this point, but he comes through here and buries one from long range.
Yeah, that's awfully impressive because usually kickers like to get that first one out of their system in the first quarter, sort of get them into the flow of the game, but to come in this late and knock it down from long distance, give him a lot of credit.
Here's 1st and 10.
Murray to throw. They'll roll him out right. Now a desperation throw deep downfield.
Oh, and that's going to sabotage their comeback plans. It is intercepted. It's Kyler Duggar who picks it.
And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line.
Well, you knew you had to take some chances here with the clock winding down, needing a touchdown to win it, and that one might have just sealed their fate.
Yeah, and that's the nature of the 2-minute drill. The offense trying to go downfield and make their plays. But defenses, they're sitting back watching everything that they do, but not too far back. They want to be in position to make a play on the ball, and that they did.
He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. That is intercepted. Picked up by Sean Murphy Bunting. And the Cards are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20.
They brought the house that time on the young rookie, maybe a little rattled through the pick.
And you have to be prepared for a lot of pressure as a rookie quarterback because most defensive coordinators are going to test you that way. So when you see that, the ball's got to get out of your hands quickly, and that means your receivers have to understand they have to break off their routes quickly as well.
And they'll run the option to start the drive. And he is going to get out of bounds with the first down, so that's going to double their pleasure for sure. They get the first and save a timeout.
Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
2 timeouts still in their back pocket. It's 1st and 10. Murray giving to Connor on the option. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
The Cardinals forced to burn their 3rd and final timeout, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the ball game.
Pretty good job there defensively of stringing that one out.
Yeah, you've got a quarterback who's waiting and waiting for something to develop, and it just never materialized, and down he went behind the line of scrimmage.
Now Murray. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Well, this is getting close to a no-win situation now. They've got one final shot. They're on their end of the field, and it's 4th and long. This might require a little extra razzle-dazzle to get it done.
So the field goal unit is on the field, as this is a big spot right here. Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
Got to avoid the flags defensively. Here's 4th and long.
Now Murray's got to have this one. He's going to try and go deep again. It's caught inside the 25.
And he is going to have the Cardinals first down. And they convert in style right there. A big play on 4th and long.
So this will wind up a victory for the New England Patriots. And not all W's are created equal, CD. And this one came in shutout fashion.
Well, their offense certainly didn't need to do anything, right? They could take the day off, and they did. But the defense, they carried them in a big way.
Yeah, look, the